Hello there, I'm Tip Squirrel from tipsquirrel.com, and in this video we're looking at stroking a path with a brush extra, because we've already done stroking a path with a brush before, so we're going to go a little bit further on this one. We will be recapping first, so don't worry about going and finding that out. We're going to do a quick recap. Okay, I've got my photograph here. It's of some aeroplane propellers, as you can see, which I took at a recent workshop at the Gatwick Aviation Museum. Okay, and now what I want to do here is just put like a border effect on. So I'm going to use the square tool or the rectangle tool with the paths selected. So I'm just going to make a square or rectangle path. So from one corner to the other, just to draw out my path like so. Okay, so I'm not drawing on the original image. I'm going to create a new layer. So we're going to draw on that one. Now I'm going to need to set my brush up before we go any further, so I go up to my brush, and I've already set this one up if I'm honest. So I've got a reasonably small hard-edged brush, and then I'm just going to go over to my paths palette and I'll just drag that out so we can all see what's going on. There's my work path, which is the path I've just drawn, that rectangle there. And all I need to do now is go down to the bottom of the palette and you'll see that second one along, stroke path with brush. That's what I'm going to do. Click that and away it goes. Now there's a black line in between my brush stroke there, and that's all that is the path itself. Now I can leave that switched on if I wish. It wouldn't print out and it wouldn't show up on the save, but it can be a bit distracting, so I'm going to click off it just to hide it for now. Then I'm going to go back over to my layers palette and I'm going to put my paths palette back where I like it, which is just there. Otherwise I'm going to be fumbling around and not know where anything is. I'm going to go back to my layers palette and layer 1 there, and I can put an effect on that should I wish. Let's go for an inner shadow, and there we go. Click OK, and there's my border effect. Quite easy to do and it only takes a couple of minutes, but that's the basic. Let's go on a little bit further and take this extra step. I'm going to turn that layer off and then create another layer on top of background, just so we're not working again on the original. Now if I go back to my paths palette, you can see that my work path is still there, so I can click on that and up it comes again. Now anybody that knows me will know I've got a bit of a passion for modifier keys, and especially the Alt key. The Alt key always does something magical, and in this case that's very true as well. So if I click Alt, hold Alt or Option key on the Mac and click the stroke path with brush icon, a little stroke path box comes up, and you can see that it's already asking me what tool I want to use, and it's set to smudge because that's what I've been playing around with. But there's a whole host of different ones that I can use: pencil, brush, eraser, background eraser, etc, etc, including mixer brush tool, which is new in CS5. You can stroke the path with that, and also with the spot healing brush you can also use the content aware. Now that thrilled me when I first saw it. I'm easily thrilled, but I was really thrilled because I thought that's going to make things so much easier, but actually I've not found a use for it, and I am generally asking for your input here. If you know of a reason why you might want to stroke a path with the spot healing brush, because if you're going to start drawing lines, why don't you just use the spot healing brush to draw the line? So I don't really know what that's for, but hey, I am really seriously open to suggestions. All the others make perfect sense and all have artistic merit or very helpful. Now the one I'm going to go for, that mixer brush tool, and this is, I was really excited when I saw this. I thought, oh, something else to play with, and you'll have to excuse me if I do get a bit excited here, because I love working with this. I really do. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to leave simulate pressure off, otherwise it's going to go thin to thick and I don't really want that. So I'm going to click OK, and we can watch it work its magic. It's going to start in the top left hand corner and I'm working it around. There we go, top right. We're going down now, across the bottom, love it, up the top, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to click off the path again and go to my layers and then click off my background layer, and you can see what it's done. Now those strokes are a little bit close together, or the bristles are a little bit close together, but we could always play around with that. But let's put a little bit of a drop shadow or something on there just to highlight them a little bit. Click OK. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Look at that, a very simple border effect very quickly. But let's try something else. Let's click off that one, click on background, create a new layer. Now of course you could be screaming at me right now, Tippy, why aren't you using your favorite modifier key? Well, of course I could, because if you're on layer 2 perhaps and you wanted a layer underneath that, you press the Alt or Option key and the new layer, and it or is it the Control? Let's have a look. Control, and yes, it is Control underneath. Oh, glad I caught myself there. You would have been writing in, wouldn't you? Okay, so Control and a new layer. We'll put one on underneath. Okay, let's. That's not what this is about anyway, is it? Let's go back to our paths and then click our work path. Now I should point out that once you click OK in that dialog box that comes up, it's away. It will do its magic. So you need to set up the brush that you're going to use beforehand. So in my case, I'm just about to use the smudge tool. So here we go, smudge, and you can see that I've got it set to strength of 50 and sample all layers, of course, because we're using a blank layer, and I'm not using finger painting and I'm not using tablet pressure controls. Okay, reasonably big brush on this occasion, and it's relatively soft. And let's go Alt and click the stroke path icon. Let's go down to smudge and click OK, and you probably hear the joy in my voice as it goes around. Now where it's all blue you don't really see it, but watch the clouds go there. Look at that, oh lovely, and across the aeroplane and up a bit, and there we go. Let's click off of that one, click on layers, and now there's our new piece of image. Let's double click on that one, and maybe this time we'll do a bit of a stroke perhaps, reduce the opacity, and there we are. So now we've got another border effect that we've created, and it's all smudged and smeared. We could of course blur that as well and do all kinds of things. So when we started this off, we started with that. It looks a bit poor now, doesn't it, in comparison to our mixer brush, and then we use the smudge as well, but feel free to use anything you like. Of course now we can pile them on top of one another. I could use the sponge tool to desaturate that a bit if I wanted to as well. I don't know why I would. I could just use the hue saturation layer, couldn't I? But you know, have a play. I love this, I really do, and it's so much fun, and it's easy to use, and you can build up several different options and then choose the one you like best. In my case, maybe that one I like the best for this image, but I'm going to carry on playing. I'm Tip Squirrel for tipsquirrel.com. Thanks very much for watching.